And welcome back to NYSE Live. Florida-based LPT Realty is new on the scene, founded in 2022, but it's already making moves. According to the 2025 Real Estate Almanac, the firm is the 16th largest brokerage by U.S. sales volume and the 10th largest by transactions. Joining me now with more is Robert Palmer, LPT Realty's founder and CEO. Robert, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. A bird's eye view of the stock exchange, we should say. What is behind LPT Realty's rapid growth?
Yeah, I think we came on with a model that real estate agents needed. We look at consumers and really feel like the real estate agent is the core of that transaction, largest purchase of most people's lives, and our job is to support those agents, give them the best technology, the best tools, the best marketing, something we're particularly known for, to help those consumers sell houses. And that's what it's all about for us, and we've had resounding success and response from the industry.
Certainly only a few years old, launching in 2022. What did you feel was missing in Florida and elsewhere when you decided to enter this space?
Yeah, so we started in Florida. We've now grown to all 50 states. We're in 4 Canadian provinces as well and a couple of international destinations. I think as we looked at it, there was just this disconnect as the industry's evolved and the industry's matured. We believe the future is the single entity, one brokerage like us who can cover all 50 states compared to the legacy franchise model. If we go back in time, real estate was very localized. MLSs put out books of listings. It was very much about that local office, that local franchise. And we see the future being real estate teams and independent agents that are backed by a platform like ours. And so there's been a few that came before us. We looked at some things we think they got right, some things we think they got wrong, and we improved the model, and the results have been amazing. And
we understand you're a hybrid brokerage model, combining fee-based and capped brokerage models. How is that model unique?
Yeah, so when we look at it, there's really three different platforms or 3 different compensation models that most real estate agents are drawn to. And so in order to serve the most number of agents, which then allows us to serve the most number of consumers, we needed to meet each of those agents where they are. We call it individual definition of success. And so by having the 3 different compensation models, 2 that are what we would call agent first branding, 1 that we would call brokerage first branding, allows each agent, no matter that definition of success, to fit into our platform and serve their consumers at the absolute highest level.
Mortgage rates have been coming down in recent months, and by and large, traders do anticipate that we'll see another rate cut by the Fed in December. Is that causing more buyers to come off the sidelines?
Yeah, we definitely see a lot of rate sensitivity. When we see those windows of time where the 10-year Treasury does come down and 30-year mortgage rates hit those brief lows as they've been, we do see a lot of buyers. It feels like there's a lot of people watching the internet daily, watching mortgage rates daily, and when that magic interest rate comes into play, they're going to buy or sell. Internally, we call it prepping for the boom. We think there's a big real estate boom coming as far as transaction count. We've been over 3 years now at this 4 million annualized home sales, compared to a normal year for our country is 5.5 million. So there's a lot of folks that just aren't buying and selling right now because they're waiting for that interest rate. They feel locked in and trapped by their current interest rate. And we do believe that sometime next year, when the Fed cutting and inflation woes finally kind of put at ease, that we're going to see this big boom. And so we call that Boomsday. And at LPT, we are Boomsday prepping to make sure that our agents are ready to serve those consumers when the time comes and when all of this inventory and all of this pent-up demand starts to buy and sell homes again.
So as you prepare for Boom Day, I like that play on words there. What are the biggest trends that you're seeing from potential home buyers this year?
Yeah, I think really the interest rate sensitivity is massive. What we're finding is there's pain too. People are delaying moving. They're staying in a home maybe that's too small for them. Maybe they've gotten a new job across town, but they're commuting too far. Maybe they've had another child in the family and they don't have enough bedrooms. They're delaying that move, and it's creating a more and more uncomfortable situation. And so I think the longer people find themselves in that uncomfortable situation, the less low rates need to be for them to take action. And so we think there's going to be this collision point where people have kicked the can down the road for as long as they can on buying and selling. We think that's going to hit around the same time that the 10-year and 30-year mortgage rates finally do start to come down in response to recent Fed cuts, and that's going to create a lot of momentum. And so the key is get in position now, because it is going to create more competition for homes. We're seeing an increase in inventory right now, which is setting us up for that higher home sales number next year. But right now, buyers actually have a little more leverage in most markets in the U.S. to get a better deal or to actually have some choice around homes, and we expect that to go back back to a tight market sometime next year as rates do come down.
What role is artificial intelligence playing in your own operations?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, everything from the way our agents interact with their customers to the way we check files, the way we pay our agents, the way we check contracts and files for compliance. It's probably one of the most exciting times, I would think, to be an entrepreneur. I can't imagine any business right now that isn't being highly impacted by artificial intelligence. AI's ability to read documents and understand contracts has really come a long way in the last 18 to 24 months. We're embracing it at a very high level. I'd say as a younger company, we were built for this. You know, we've got an amazing data layer inside of our company where we can format that data and organize that data in a way that is set up for AI, where a lot of our competitors are stuck on legacy systems that isn't formatted in those ways or doesn't give them the full access to feed their data into the large language models. And we're excited to take advantage of that emerging technology and continue to grow and create more efficiencies.
All right, Robert Palmer, he's LPT Realty's founder and CEO, joining us here at the New York Stock Exchange. Robert, thanks.
Thank you.
Great to have you. All right, everyone. Well, at this year's Proof Point Protect event in Nashville, Tennessee,